Hey everybody, welcome back to Looks with Ariel. Welcome back, my looky-loos, if you've been following us along in these, recent videos here. I am back to do another makeup tutorial. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I know I've been trying to stick with doing James Charles palette versatility looks, and I definitely still want to keep going with that, but, just sticking with one palette can be a little, I don't know, you can get caught in a rut, right? So I think today we're going to just play around with that palette as well as the Patricia Bright palette that I used in my first ever video. I have more palettes, guys, don't worry. I intend to use them probably on Friday for my Soft Glam anniversary look. So be prepared for that one to come. Don't feel like I'm just doing the same two palettes over and over again, because I don't want to be doing that. I do a few other ones as well. So I'm going to do my face off of camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright. Welcome back, guys. So, you can probably tell my whole face is done up here. My hair is different just because I took the clip out. It was bothering me. I looked a little bit too much like Snooki from the early 2000s. So, I decided to take it out and just go how I normally go. You will probably see me do this a lot, flip my hair back and forth, just because sometimes it's annoying on my head. So, anyway. So like I said, today we're going to start with, or we're going to do eye looks with two different palettes. We're going to do the Patricia Bright palette, Rich in Color is the one that we're going to use, and the James Charles mini palette. So, this is going to be another one of those days where I'm doing a look that I don't have any familiarity with as far as technique goes, so we're going to just go on a journey together here and figure out what we're doing. I'm excited. I think this is probably the best way to do this, is to just get on camera and figure it out, because if you don't do it right the first time, then you can always look back in what you did and say, okay, that wasn't right, maybe I should fix this, stuff like that. So, and like I said from the beginning, this channel is more about like me watching back my progress versus like getting views or whatever. So, if you're following along, that's awesome. If not, then that's okay too. So I think trying to decide if I want to start off with orange or a lighter red, and I'll just tell you right now, so I'm trying to go for like a smoky red eye look. I'm really feeling red these days, I don't know why. So let's see, what do I want to do, guys? I'm not sure. Okay, so you know what, I did, yay, get my Morphe M441 brush. It came in today, so I'm excited to try this little guy out. So let's just try the Patricia Bright palette. I'm gonna dive in with, let's go with Yes Peaches to start. And I'm gonna try to go for like a hooded eye look maybe today. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll see what journey the colors take us on. How about that? So we're just gonna put that in the crease there. I'm gonna want to bring that up towards the upper part of your eye a little bit, just to get a nice coverage going. Maybe I'm trying to go for like a fiery look. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as we go. And just as I said in the first video, this palette has good payoff. Definitely a lot of nice colors. And you saw like that went on with what, like 2-3 swipes of dipping into a shade, or dipping into that shade, so I think we're looking pretty good so far. Alright, maybe blend that out a little bit more on this side, just because it's a little bit more blended on the other side. Okay. I will say that a little part of this brush just came off in my eye here. So I don't know about the quality of this brush, but that's okay. Okay. So we got a nice blend out there. Now I think I want to try to dip into the shade Miss Tropicana in the Patricia Bright palette. Let's see, I'm not exactly sure which brush I want to use. Maybe I'll try the M139 brush. It's a little bit more of a denser brush. Sorry, that was dumb. I put it right in front of my hair, like you can see that brush in my face. A little bit more of a denser brush. So hopefully it'll do exactly what we want it to do. So again, we're going to dip into Miss Tropicana, and we're going to just kind of put that more in our crease here, just to like deepen up that color. And today we're probably not going to have that great of lighting, just because I'm having the blinds closed in my apartment today, just because it's really hot out, kind of sunny, which is normally good for lighting, but in my apartment, it just makes everything like 10 times hotter, so I'm not down to be hot today. And if you can hear like a buzzing or like a whooshing sound or whatever in the background, that is the AC, because like I just said, it's hot, so, you know, gotta keep it cool. Okay. And I think I just want to try to blend that out a little bit more, so I'm just gonna use that same brush and just really like work on it to try to blend that color out as best as I can. Not that I don't want the color to be there, but I just think it's gonna be better if I blend it out as much as I can. Just really gonna rub that in there. And you can see like there's a little bit of the orange, a little bit more of the red. Kind of look like they're similar colors, but I might go back in later like I normally do and just brighten up that shade a little bit later on. Okay, so now like I said, I kind of wanted to do like a smoky-ish eye. So let's see, I want to take probably like a smaller blending brush. So I'm going to take the M433 brush. I'm going to dip into the shade Spooky in the James Charles palette. Just because the Patricia Wright palette doesn't have any black, so I definitely want to have some black in here if I'm going with a smoky look. And we're going to put that on the corner of the eye. I'm kind of going to do like a sideways V shape. So I'm going to go there on the very edge of my crease and just go right to the edge of my eye there and just really blend that black out. It's funny because I was watching YouTube videos this week about like makeup tutorials and stuff, and I was watching a YouTuber, I won't mention any names, compare the two palettes of the James Charles and the Jeffree Star Morphe palettes, and you can definitely tell like when someone's not on their payroll but just like, you know, really feeling one YouTuber over the other. And this person was definitely feeling Jeffree Star more than he was James Charles, because he dogged this black, and he was saying like the black, you have to build it up and it doesn't really look that nice and blah blah blah, and I was like, definitely not. I've used that black plenty of times before and it's a nice shade coverage, or so not shade coverage, well, I mean it does cover that shade because you can see that black is pretty much covering that red, but it's a nice buildup of color. You can see it almost immediately. I don't know what was going on with them using it, but for some reason it wasn't performing like it would for most people, or at least for me. So yeah, I just don't understand like why people are so gung-ho over one person versus the other. I mean, obviously, like I said, I've been watching YouTube videos for a long time, and so, you know, I know what the tea is in the beauty community, but that doesn't mean I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid or the tea or whatever. Like, if it's a good palette, it performs well, the payoff's good and all that stuff, like, I don't really care what happens or who used it or who makes it or whatever. It just doesn't matter to me. So now I think I'm going to put on concealer to do like kind of like, again, like a little cut crease, and I'm just going to put it right on the very like center of my lid there, and we're going to put on like a lighter red shade, just so that when I put on like the shimmery red shade, it like has something to be underneath it, just because I like swatched the shimmer in the Patricia Bright palette called Flames, and it's a really nice color, but it's not all that, I don't know what the word is to use, like it doesn't stay that well, so yeah, I'm just not willing to put it under my just like my nude eye and then just expect it to just stay. It's not going to stay. So I'm gonna find that packing brush that I've been using in my other videos, if I can pull it out of my makeup bag. Oh gosh, this is not going well today. Let's find this brush. Okay, here it is, packing brush. So we're just gonna pack that concealer in a little bit. We want to like make it so that it meets where that red shade is, or that black shade is. I'm not going over it, but just so it meets it. Okay, so we got that going. Wonderful. Now I'm gonna just use a different brush here. We're gonna use the Sephora eyeshadow brush. And like I know I have all these new Morphe brushes, but I kind of want to save them for future vlogs this week. So I think we're gonna dip into the shade You're Kidding, just because it's a nice like base of a red, and we're just gonna cover that concealer. And we just don't want it to like completely cover it, just because we still want that shimmer to stay. But like I said, we want a nice base underneath that shimmer from the Patricia Bright palette, so that it's not like you don't just see like my nude eye underneath, if that makes any sense. So like I said, we're just going to pack that on, get a nice little red going on underneath. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. I'm going to use that flatter edge of the brush. This is the more like eyeshadow packing brush, whatever you want to call it, and this is just, I guess, more of like a precise end. So we're going to dip into that shade Flames. I mean, you can see like on screen, like it's not that like, I don't even know what the word is. Anyway, it's like you dip into it and a little shows up, a little falls off. I don't know how to, I guess fallout, I don't know. So we're just going to dip that onto the shade You're Kidding. Ooh, and on the eye, that looks gorgeous. And I think that was a smart move, guys, to put that red underneath, because I can still see a little bit of the red underneath, which is okay. Not all shimmer shadows are like super pristine and great and fabulous, so that's totally cool. And I think, do I want to drag that red to the corner of my eye? Yeah, let's go ahead and drag that red to the corner of my eye. Just because, who doesn't want to have a dark red in the corner of their eye? I mean, especially this one's like, it's so nice. Like I said, I mean, it's not the most pristine eyeshadow formula I've seen, but it looks super nice. It's super bright and red. Like I said, it could be because of that red that we put underneath, but nonetheless, I mean, it's great payoff as far as the shimmer goes. So why is this eye never is the best, guys. This eye is not holding on to that shimmer as well as I would like. I mean, you keep seeing, like, I keep dipping and dipping and dipping and dipping, and it's just not staying on as good as I think it should. I mean, this one just looks fantastic, and for some reason this one is like the dopey little sibling who's like, I don't know. I can't do it, guys. Okay. It is what it is. We're just gonna live with it. We'll be alright. So I still think that like orangey shade on the upper part of my my eyelid there kind of fell off a little bit. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and dip back into Yes Peaches with that, and just like lift the eye and just intensify that shade a little bit. And I lied at the beginning of this video. Totally to you guys. I said I was going to do a hooded eye, and I totally did not do that at all. But as I've said before, and I will say it a million times over, I can do whatever I want. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. And again, I'm not doing this for anybody, so if no one watches it, that's fine by me. And again, we're going to go into Miss Tropicana again and just intensify that red. Maybe just blend it a little bit into like that shimmery red that we have going on there. I kind of like this look for like fall, even like a smoky eye for like Christmas time, or even like Valentine's Day. Like, it's super nice. And then maybe we'll just intensify that black just a smidge, just to give it a little moment. And also we want to cover that red a little bit so it doesn't just like, you know, a harsh line between the shimmer and the black. So, just going to blend that out as best as we can here. I notice I didn't dip back into the pan for the black to buff it out. I mean, I dipped back in when I put some more color on, but other than that, like, we don't want to dip back in and just make it crazy. So, I think that's good. I don't know if you can see we have like a little bit of black on the edge there, so there's no need to do the under eye on that as far as the black goes. But I definitely want to do a little bit of under eye of the red. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to dip into You're Kidding from the James Charles palette to do the under eye, just because it's a little bit more of like a highly intensive red color. And so we're going to use the M432 brush, and we're just going to go along the edge of my eye here. And we're going to just meet where that shimmer hits the corner of the eye on the upper eyelid. And it looks, I think it looks really nice. I would normally want to say like you should buff it out just because it is a red, but I don't think there's necessarily a need to do that. I think, well, maybe you could, because it's smoky eye, right? So like if you really wanted to smoke it out, you could. I don't know. I think it looks fine just the way that it is. So now for that little pop of like extra color in there, I think I might want to dip into a gold shade, just to like really make that like fire color pop. So I think we're going to use this Morphe brush, a more precise brush here. It's kind of like a smaller version of the 139, M139 brush. And so we're going to dip into the shade Wig in the James Charles palette because it's a really nice like golden shimmer color. And we're going to just pack that in to the inner corner here. And just because I didn't put on like any concealer to intensify it, we're just really going to have to pack that on. And just make sure you like blend it into the shimmery shade Flames there so that it just blends really nicely. Just going to go ahead and do it on the inner corner here. You're really going to have to build that color up, guys. Because once again, you didn't do concealer. You can totally do concealer on your end if you want. I didn't do it, so I don't feel like I want to do it on one eye and not the other. It just doesn't make much sense. So, it's alright. We're all going to live. It'll be totally fine. I feel like this is very much like a Phoenix kind of look, which I'm really digging. Like, I would have never have thought to have done this, and I feel like I did a pretty successful job actually, so I'm really thrilled with how this turned out. Sorry, video cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eyelashes and my eyeliner off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So, I did not do highlighter yet just because I kind of want to try something a little bit different. I think this time, today, I'm going to go with more of like a goldish highlighter, just because this is very much like a nice Phoenix look. So I think I'm going to try to dip into the shade So Good for the James Charles palette. I know it's like a super gold color. but I just want to see how it will look on the skin just as a highlighter. I think it'll look really nice. I think it'll give a nice, like, different sort of look. I really can't get the camera to focus that well, but nonetheless, I think it looks really nice. Let's see if I can get like I can pull this mirror up here just to get a look at it, like, without looking in the camera, of how it looks on the skin. Yeah, guys, it looks super nice on the skin as a highlighter. Again, I would have never have thought to use this as a highlighter, but I don't see why not. I mean, you can definitely build it up if you want, but I just think it looks super nice. We're gonna go ahead and go down the bridge of the nose there. We're gonna go to the very tip of the nose. And for a contour today, I did like a little like darkening underneath here a little bit, so if my nose looks a little bit different, that's probably why. I'm gonna go in the nape of the lip there. I really like this gold. I keep wanting to like add more and add more and add more, but that's just gonna look like craziness. So, I think that's it for highlighter, and then just because I really like this like dark like vibe that we're going for here, I'm going to go ahead and use that shade Wonderlust from Sephora. It's, again, one of my favorite dark colors, guys. I mean, just look at me, I'm all darked out today. So, yeah, I'm just really like my dark vibe this, lately. So, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on here. Of course, my hair gets like in my mouth. Whatever. Maybe a little bit more. I feel like with every like swipe of the lipstick, it gets a little bit darker, which I kind of like. So, alright guys, I think this might be today's look. I'm super happy with how it turned out, actually. I'm very much digging this, like I said, like this phoenix kind of look. I keep looking at myself in the mirror. Because it looks so nice. Like, I'm super happy with how it turned out. So, yeah, I think this is today's look. Please, if you like what I've been doing, like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I think it would definitely be nice for you to hang out with me and become a part of the Looky Lou family that I have going on here. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's look. Be so bold to try this look if you so choose. And yeah, I think that's it. Alright guys, hope you guys have a great one. See you Friday.